Good morning. Good morning. Very welcome, and thank you for your patience. Unfortunately, we are a little bit late, so I would say in about 10 minutes or so we might be able to start. Thank you for your patience and your understanding.
Every major international festival likes to adorn itself with an illustrious jury. This year, the Berlinale has once again succeeded in putting together such a team. The president of the jury is none other than the actress Lupita Nyong'o, who rose to global fame thanks to her truly moving performance in the film 12 Years a Slave, for which she won an Oscar. A German director is also on board this year, Christian Petzold. Last year, he triumphed here and won a Silver Bear for his film Red Sky. This year, he will be helping to choose the winners of the Bears. Coming up, the press conference of this year's jury.
Maybe we can have a seat. Thank you very much. Apologies for the delay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the press conference for the jury of international competition. The jury will be watching 20 films and decide on the Golden and Silver Bears, which will be announced at the closing ceremony of Berlinale on Saturday the 24th. I will start with introducing our guests, starting from your left. He started working as an actor at a young age and played roles that are impossible to forget. He had contributed to projects as a writer, but from around 2014, fully turned to directing with the film The Childhood of a Leader, which received multiple awards in Venice and was followed by Vox Lux with Natalie Portman. He's currently completing his third feature film, The Brutalists, which we cannot wait to discover. Thanks for being part of this jury, Brady Corbet. From Italy, she was revealed by Nanni Moretti's heart-wrenching film, The Sun's Room, and since then she impressed us with the variety of her career choices, which includes a recent turn to directing as well. With every performance, she makes you feel as if you're making the acquaintance of a new, beautifully complex person. One of them is the female lead in the series Super Sex, which we premiere in Berlinale special next week, Jasmine Trinca. A Berliner is among us and knows the festival very well, as most of his films were presented here, including Barbara in 2012, for which he won the Silver Bear for Best Director. His latest selection was last year with FI Roter Himmel, for which he received the Silver Bear Grand Jury Prize. Nina Hoss and Paula Beer both won the Silver Bear for Best Acting under his direction. Welcome home, Christian Petzold. She was born in Mexico, grew up in Kenya, and built a stellar career in the USA. Her stirring performance in what was her screen debut as the character of Patsy in 12 Years a Slave won her an Academy Award. As hardworking as she's talented, she has showed interest for voice acting, theater, and even authored a best-selling book. She has also supported projects as a producer and is working on a series and a podcast. We thought we'd add yet another string to her bow and propose that she becomes the president of the Berlinale jury, Lupita Nyong'o. He is Spanish, but one could say that the country he inhabits is art, wherever it takes him. His first feature, Honor de Cavalleria, was revealed by the Cannes Directors Fortnight in 2006. He won a Golden Leopard in Locarno for A Story of My Death. More recently, he offered us the mesmerizing Pacifiction, also recognized by multiple awards. It is as pleasant to listen to him as it is to dive into his films, which makes his co-jurors a lucky bunch. Albert Serra. She's no stranger to Berlin, where several of her films premiered and where she received the Berlinale Camera in 1997. Her impressive body of work won her numerous awards, including 6 times Best Director at the Hong Kong Film Awards. From her Vietnam trilogy in the early 80s to her latest film, Elegies, she has demonstrated an unfaltering curiosity for her birthplace, for her people, and created a galaxy of fascinating characters. Please welcome Ann Hui. An awarded novelist, poet, essayist, cultural critic, and professor, she's perhaps Ukraine's most influential living writer. She's as outspoken in life as in her writings, and her recent award-winning book, The Longest Journey, is but one example of her invaluable contribution to a better understanding of ongoing conflicts in her homeland and abroad. Oksana Zabuzhko. Thank you. I will just ask the first question, if you allow me, to the president of the jury. Lupita, could you simply tell us what it means to you to preside over this Berlinale jury?
Do I press this? No, I don't. Okay. Good morning, everyone. It is an honor to be here, a deep pleasure. It means this is my first time attending the Berlin Film Festival, and I feel greatly honored to be the president of this year's festival. It's a chance to get to experience a whole lot of films from around the world. There's quite the selection here that is representative of a lot of world perspective, and I get to do it with prolific artists that I deeply respect and that have a whole lot more experience doing this kind of thing than I do. So this is a chance for me to learn a lot about the world of cinema and to celebrate it. And yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. There's a question in the first row.
My name is Mark Harapetian. I'm editor and publisher of the film magazine Spirit, the Smile and the Storm since my 16th living year. First, I'd like to say it's really a great composition of the jury members. For example, Ann Hui is for me the best female director in the world. Love Boat People, for example, and A Simple Life. Fantastic movies. And Lupita, maybe you remember our phone interview about Warrior Woman for History Channel. So I like to specify a little her question of Aurélie. What does it mean to you in these crazy times to be a jury president of the Berlinale? We have war all over the world, and the Berlinale, for example, is also always a political festival. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, in the 48 hours that I've been here, that's one of the words that keeps being mentioned, how political the Berlinale is. And I'm very curious to learn what that means. And I think and when we were debating this as a jury, Oksana said everything is political. And I think that's true. And art, I think that what we're here to do is to see how artists are responding to the world we're living in right now. And I'm curious to see what they're making of it and how they're helping us process the world we currently exist in.
Yes.
Hi. Hello, I'm Pavis from RTL Television. Just a technical question, because Aurélie told before that you have to watch 20 movies this time. So how did you do that? Did you get your own jury screenings? Did you maybe sneak in to press screenings? Did you maybe watch it on a screen in your hotel room? So how does it work for you, watching 20 movies in this short period of about 8-9 days?
Is that to me? Or, yeah.
When I was a part of the audience at the festival, I've seen more than 5 movies a day, so I think we can get it. But we have started yesterday. We have 2 or 3 screenings a day. We have private screenings. We have open screenings, but with no links and nothing in the hotel rooms. The hotel rooms just for sleeping.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hi, it's Natalia Zhuk from Ukrainian Moviegram movie magazine, and I've got a bit philosophical question for all the jury members. As my colleague told, it's a difficult time now, and like each of you have quite different background, I would say. For example, we have Pani Zabuzhko from my country, where the war is raging. We have Mr. Serra, who told in one of his interviews that you sort of admire Putin for his assertivity. We have Christian Petzold, who creates very humanistic movies. So with all this variety, what's your own recipe to meet the decision who is getting the bear? Because you have to talk about that, you have to quarrel about that. So what's your way of coming to their common ground, having very different worldviews, I would say? Thanks.
I mean, I think that's the beauty of bringing people together from different backgrounds, is that we respond to different things, and I'm very curious to see what already we are having robust conversations. We have a lot of just world experience and opinion, and it's going to be interesting. It's probably also going to be spicy.
Yes.
My question is for Jasmine Trinca. This is a political festival, and what does it mean for you, political cinema, and in what way you choose, because through your career you have chosen roles, so how much is important and what does it mean for you?
It means a lot, because everything is political, as we said, and I think I'm so lucky to share this time with you and to be a part of a jury, but in an international film festival, no? Because I have the possibility to look at things, to look at the world through the glance, through the eyes of someone else, which is basically what I think is the most important thing in life. And it's also a way to eliminate boundaries, in a way, which is very, political, and to try to keep eyes, hearts open, and to stay human, as Vittorio Arrigoni said. So it's very important for me.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Bianconi, Il Tempo Italy, always from Jasmine Trinca. It's not your first time in a jury of an international festival. In the past, Cannes, I'm sorry, I have the translation. Cannes, Venice, and now also Berlin. I was wondering if your way of seeing and judging a film is changing always after you became a director.
Mm-hmm. Yes, in a way, I'm most respectful and open to the work to the others, and I'm very interested in those visions in a way. But every time is also the chance to watch a lot of movies from everywhere and to share thoughts with people who have different opinions or way of seeing cinema. So I'm completely open, and as in my life, I prefer to listen than speak. But this time I have to speak at the end, so we'll see.
Yes, over there.
Yeah. Hi, question from Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca from Correio da Manhã. Question to Lupita. If I'm not wrong, we are also celebrating the 15-year anniversary of In My Genes, the movie you directed and produced. By the way, it's an amazing documentary. The question is, how did that experience as a director change your point of view, your perspective about directing, acting, and how do you think that this experience can influence your judgment about the directors you will analyze here? Thank you very much.
Wow, that's a blast from the past. I would say, first of all, thank you for even being aware of In My Genes. It's a documentary I made as a final thesis project when I was in college. And I'm very proud of it. And I learned a lot, obviously, being the one devising the story. I have a profound respect for directors because they are... I say they are like gods, right? When they're on set, they are in charge of the vision of the film, and they have to orchestrate everything to work together. They're the conductors, they're the coaches, they are, they are the vision, and it takes a lot of work, focus, patience, and determination to make a film. I think it's a miracle that any film actually gets made because so many things have to fall in place to get to the finish line. So I think what I come with is a real humility to watching these films and to considering what was so important to these filmmakers to commit their lives for months, years on end to tell this story. And I think, it's to our benefit that we have these capsules of life to refer to.
Okay, there was a question on this side. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ulrike Sommer. Oh, sorry. My name is Ulrike Sommer from DW News. I'm asking you for our News Africa program. What do you think of the African presence on the festival, and especially in the competition, but also in the other sections? What do you expect? Thank you.
Ooh, and that's to me, huh? All right. Well, I'm very happy that Africa is featuring at this festival. And I'm looking forward to experiencing some of that work. And I'm always hungry for more.
Go ahead.
That's it.
Ann Hui for RBB TV. Your work as an actress, but also as a filmmaker, as a writer of the beautiful children's book Sulve, has been a lot about empowerment. Will this also play a role now in your work as jury president here?
Ooh.
I hope.
Well, I think, I have been tasked with something monumental, to be the president of a jury with jury members, like I said, who have such a girth of experience, So I think how I intend to approach this is to listen first. And I hope that I'm able to, add value to this process and definitely empower us with our varied experiences to come together and choose some really great films to win. Yeah.
Hi there, Ben Dalton from Screen International. A question for Christian Petzold, although I'm very happy to hear from other jury members. Members of the German right-wing political party Alternative for Deutschland were invited to this evening's ceremony. That invitation was then rescinded by the festival. Was it appropriate that this was made? Was it appropriate that the invitation was rescinded?
I've waited for this question since 1 week, and I forgot my answer. Okay, I think it's not a problem to have 5 persons of the AfD in the audience. We are no cowards. We can, if we can't stand 5 persons of the AfD as a part of the audience, we will lose our fight. Yeah? I think so.
Wow.
Mahar.
My name is Mahar Sigit, African Refugee News. I would like to say that I'm really proud to have you as the president of the jury from Africa, because it's the first time from a long time. But my question goes to the panel. You're directors, and you have to judge another director. And this is sometimes not very easy. Do you think it's a hard challenge for you, or are you already ready for this?
Did you say the question was for Anne? No, all of them. All the directors.
All the directors?
You have to choose. You have to give a prize. So at the end, you have to choose between, all possible films. And I don't know. There is no other solution, so you have to do it.
We are judging no
you
directors.
Put hierarchy, You put hierarchy in the ones you prefer, and that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, my name is Natalia Fibrika. I'm from Ukrainian television, and my question goes to Oksana Zabuzhko. It's nice to see you here in Berlin, and you live in Ukraine, where you are every day experiencing the war against Ukraine.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's actually the moment.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was something Ukrainian.
That's a good one. That's the end of the air raid attack upon Ukraine, which been lasting for all this morning. Sorry.
Your experience is even different from experience of Ukrainians who live abroad. How would you say this experience would influence your judgment on films? What would you say is a good movie for you, and how would you maybe describe the atmosphere about jury members, what you experienced in the first days? Thank you.
Well, the atmosphere is wonderful for me, all the more so that I'm an outsider here, and it's always advantageous to be an outsider. As a writer, I have my own approach, I think in terms of the script first and foremost, and the rest is just communication and my love for films and my interest to make up for all I have missed in the past 2 years of war in film. So basically it's a very egotistic interest that brought me here. To be able to make up for everything I missed in the film for 2 years means to come to Berlinale and to spend 10 days in the most cinematographic atmosphere in Europe. So I'm very thankful for that.
Yes, go ahead.
Is this working? Yeah. Hi, I'm Melanie Goodfellow from Deadline. Now, this is a political festival, so I'm sorry to go back to you, Christian, and also Lupita about the issue of AFD. Lupita, I wanted to ask you, would you have come to the opening night if AFD members had been in the auditorium, given that AFD has, according to media here, plotted plans to deport people, non-white people living in this country? Would you have been able to be in the same room as them? I'm sorry to ask this question, but it's a really important question. And Christian, you said, okay, it's good to have those members in the auditorium, and I don't disagree with you. But after Lupita, could you sort of explain why you think it's okay to have those people in the auditorium? Thank you.
Lupita. Oh, I'm sorry. You are the president. Not non-elected, but you are the president. Sorry, because yeah. You want to?
Yeah, I mean, she asked a question. I guess I should answer it. Mm-hmm. I'm a foreigner here. I don't know the ins and outs of the political situation here. I'm glad I don't have to answer that question. I'm glad I don't have to be in that position.
And now, now I think all these questions make them stronger than they are. I think so. We're discussing since many, many days about 5 people in the audience, and we are talking about the AFD. And I think there are hundreds, thousands of people demonstrating against them, and they are much more important than this kind of discussion.
Mein Weltexpresso. Ich habe eine Frage an alle, außer an den von mir sehr verehrten
I have a question
Petzold.
for everybody except
Und
for
zwar ist meine
Christian
Frage, wie
Petzold.
wird
I would like
in Ihren
to
Ländern
ask
die
the following.
Berlinale als Filmfestival öffentlich wahrgenommen?
How do people look at the Berlinale in your countries compared with other festivals like Venice and Cannes, or compared with festivals in the States? How do people in your country look at the Berlinale? What's their view of it?
Should we go down the line? I mean, the view of the Berlinale, certainly, I'm from the United States. I mean, it's one of the most prestigious film festivals in the world, and it's considered so back at home. I mean, it's, you know, always Cannes, Venice, and Berlin. So yes, that's all.
Is it possible to answer in Italian? Because I was thinking something about that question. That one. Ok. Perché non provare a pensare che 5 fascisti seduti in sala, vedendo il cinema che la Berlinale sceglie di raccontare per questa realtà, per questo momento, quei fascisti non riescano ad ampliare il loro orizzonte.
Let those fascists have a broader horizon and open their eyes a bit. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pam Sarbas from Rudao Media Network.
Well, did someone else want to answer the question about what Berlinale means in their country?
So, been very important. There is Cannes, Venice, and Berlinale. Since I am a kid, are the 3 biggest film festivals in the world. So, yes, it's very important with these 2 other film festivals.
It's just that there are many hands up still. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Hello. Okay. Hello, my name is Pam Sarbas from Rudao Media Network, the Kurdish media outlet. So I'm glad for being here. My question is for Lupita Nyong'o. So how do you see the efforts of the film festivals for women, the Berlinale, for example?
Say that again?
The efforts of the film festivals, especially the international film festivals for women. How do you see?
I don't understand that word.
Women.
For women.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Influence.
Yeah. Thank you.
How do I see the efforts of the film festival for women? Whew. Man. I'm glad to see we're here. I don't know enough yet. I think I have to experience this festival and then answer that question.
Yes.
Marina Baranowska, Deutsche Welle. My first question goes to Albert Serra. In 2018, in interview for Russian magazine Kolta, you said you admire Putin a lot and you'd like to work for Russian intelligence service, and you'd like even change your profession from editor to spy. And
I also said I would love to be the Pope in Rome. So.
but actually, you sounded very convicting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the context of this conversation. Probably it was.
Okay, and your opinion to Putin, did you change it or you admire it still?
I don't know. I mean, this is political question of, which leaders you prefer. I don't know, now has changed because there is war and everybody, is upset with Russia. I don't know. My opinion, it's not relevant, I think, in this context. Yeah. I think it's much more complex than that. I mean, this I am totally sure. Than saying this is good people, this is bad people, and nothing changed. If you say that Trump is a bad person, what changed? Nothing. It's just a statement, and I think real politics it's much more interesting and much more complex than being here and just saying, okay, this is good person, this is bad person.
Thank you. And my second question to Oksana Zabuzhko, how are you feeling to share the jury membership with a Putin admirer?
Well,
Wow.
that's an interesting question, and I was, very intrigued to have heard Albert's answer. But there is a good news, because last night we were sitting together at the dinner, and he bought my recent book about this war in Italian. So I hope he'll educate himself a little bit.
Can you pass them? Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I'm Timmy Chen from Minpao, Hong Kong. This is a question for Ann Hui. This is the second time you are here at Berlinale as a jury member. Can you share with us what changes as because usually we know you more as a director. Can you share with us your experience here as a jury member? Thank you.
Last time I was here, it was in 2001 in the Panorama. But when I was a juror in 1996, that was very long ago. But the first time I was in Berlin, I can still remember walking in the snow towards a closed, very warm interior where everybody enjoys films together. And everyone talks about the presence of Godard with great excitement. Those are my fondest memories of film watching and discussion of films. I'm so glad I'm still perpendicular and can come back after 30 years to be a juror again, and hope to offer my services as best as I can. And for what Albert has experienced, saying his political views, I'm really glad that actually, because our political views are so different, we are allowed the platform to discuss and communicate with each other so that we can resolve our differences, if possible, before any war.
Actually, I also just would like to say I'm not familiar with the context that those quotes came from. What interview? But in just 24 hours with Albert Serra, who is an extraordinary filmmaker and a true poet, I cannot imagine that what he was saying was not in humor and without nuance. I'm sure it was much more nuanced than that soundbite presents. So I would just like to say that.
I think we don't have to defend him. No, we don't have to. He's very strong and very full of humor. And
did you see the interview, the whole interview, 2 hours and 5 minutes? It was quite interesting.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
Crazy.
But you have to see the whole thing, 2 hours and 5, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Okay, yeah? Well, talking about a lot of interesting subjects.
Yes, please.
Hi, Philip Alterman from the Guardian newspaper in the UK. My question is for Christian and Lupita, because I'm aware that you've both signed open letters calling for a ceasefire in Gaza, and I wondered whether you would have liked the festival to take a stronger stance on that conflict, given that it is a festival that prides itself on being a very political festival.
Ich würde so gerne mal wieder auf ein unpolitisches Festival gehen.
I really would love to go to a non-political festival once again, I have to say.
Ich glaube nicht, wenn Künstler über Gaza sprechen auf einer Pressekonferenz,
when
dann noch über
artists
die
talk
Ukraine,
about Gaza and Ukraine at a press conference, then about 5
dann denke ich mir irgendwann, wir sind doch hier zum Filmschauen. Und Filme sind politisch, die sind komplex. Und ich antworte jetzt auf Deutsch, was ich eigentlich wollte, ein bisschen durcheinander, Englisch, Deutsch, politisch, unpolitisch. Und ich muss sagen, diese Frage möchte ich jetzt hier nicht beantworten, weil die alles sprengt, aber ich bin immer zufrieden
because it's not really
und
one
ich
that
bin immer
falls within the
dafür,
frame of this press conference, but I'm in favor
was wir
of
hoffentlich
peace, I'm
auch
in
hier
favor of
in
discussing
unserer
and
Jury machen, da
talking,
bin ich mir sicher, weil
which
diese
I'm
Jury
sure that we will do
wir kennen
in
uns
this
jetzt
jury.
48 Stunden und
We've been together
das
for a
sind
couple
klasse
of days
Leute,
now and they're
das muss ich
fantastic
sagen.
people, I
Und,
must say.
wenn das Politik ist, wie
And
wir hier
if that's
diskutieren,
politics, the way in which we
dann ist
discuss amongst
Politik was
ourselves, then
Wunderbares.
politics is something
Und wenn es
wonderful.
Unterschriften sind, zu denen wir Ja
And
oder
if
Nein
it's
sagen oder
signing this,
Statements abgeben
that,
müssen,
or
dann
the
ist es ein
other, or
bisschen
making
boring.
statements, then I think it's just a bit boring, to be quite frank.
Yeah, we are not Jesus Christ. I am not. I don't want to, all the sins of the world, I don't have solutions. Obama himself said that. United States cannot solve all the problems of the world.
Okay, yes.
My question is for Jasmine. Italy this year is present with Syria. We had the chance, thanks to Mr. Caro, to see them both like a film. And at the end I saw Sky, and there are no more producers in Italy that produce films, or we are all to go with Sky streaming?
Ci sono dei produttori che faticano molto a
There are indeed
montare i loro
producers,
film
and those
e che
producers
devono
do
essere
everything they
sostenuti,
can
insomma,
to
che
produce
sia la
films. They
televisione
need
pubblica o
support,
altri
both
partner.
from public TV and elsewhere,
Però
from
sono
other
rimasta molto
partners.
sorpresa,
I have
non
to say,
conosco
though,
questi due film
I was
naturalmente,
quite surprised, of course. I don't
dalla
know
selezione
the
di
films that you were referring to in
del
detail,
film
but
di
I was struck
Margherita
to see
Vicario, che è
what had been
una
selected.
giovane,
Margherita
possiamo dirlo,
Vicario's film has
autrice
been
della
selected,
sua
very
prima opera.
young
E
director. It's
sono
her
molto curiosa di
debut
vedere
film, and I'm
questo
very
debutto.
curious to see that
Mi piace molto
debut film
sostenere le
in
opere
the
prime
competition, and I like
e gli
to
sguardi femminili. In
support
questo
first
senso
features. I
anch'io,
like to
come diceva
support
la mia
also
presidente,
a female gaze, so
ho
I would
ancora
support
fame. E anche il film di Piero
president here.
Messina mi incuriosisce moltissimo, tra l'altro è un
In the
film italiano ma
pro-women,
che
also I'm very
mi sembra un passo
curious to
molto
see
internazionale con
the
dei grandi
other
attori.
Italian
Però sì,
film with its
sicuramente si fa
international
fatica
actors.
a
That
fare
will be
cinema in Italia,
fascinating, but of
ma
course it is
resistiamo.
hard to make films in Italy as elsewhere, but we're doing our very best.
Is there any other question? No?
Political questions?
Seems we've covered it all. Okay, well, thank you so much for being with us and have a wonderful festival. Thank you to our guests.
I was a jury in the Moscow Film Festival. What you say, sir? Here I should say that Olaf Scholz was nice,
you.